I don't think that's your mom, bro. I had a best friend named Arjun growing up whose mom suffered from a form of bipolar disorder. Some days, she was perfectly fine, friendly, talkative, warm, and then there were days when she was distant, cold, or even cruel. On the really bad days, he would knock on my bedroom window in the middle of the night asking if he could stay over. Whenever he did that, he'd text his dad letting him know that he was with me and was okay, and he'd head back home the next day. His dad always understood and often came by to thank my parents for watching him before taking him back home. It was like that for most of our childhood until one weekend where it was really weird. Arjun, or AJ as I called him, was hanging out at my place when my parents were out visiting family. He hadn't been home since yesterday as his dad had to go out of town and his mom was having on her for bad days that ended up lasting a few days. We were in my room watching TV when our doorbell suddenly started ringing over and over again. Not just a ring, but frantic, nonstop. I went to the door and looked through the peephole. AJ's mom was standing there in a bathrobe. Her hair was a mess and it looked like she had walked through the old bramble bushes to get to our house because the robe looked dirty. I felt AJ behind me, breathing quickly. So I asked her through the door what she wanted. "I want to see Arjun." "Arjun, come out here now," she yelled. He squeaked behind me. He was about to walk past me to the door, but I put my hand in front of him. There was something wrong. I was just a stupid 12-year-old and knew nothing about signs of bipolar disorder or anything, but there was something about his mom that didn't feel right. Even now, I can't explain the feeling that washed over me. It was this sharp, nauseating fear. Her face looked wrong. It was her face, the features were technically where they were supposed to be, but it wasn't right. It was like looking at a painting someone drew from memory. Close enough to recognize, but off in ways you can't quite pinpoint. Uncanny. Wrong. I put my finger to my lip and said through the door that he wasn't there. She didn't respond. She just stood there, staring directly at the peephole. She then reached for the doorknob and tried to turn it aggressively, like she was trying to force the lock to give. At that point, I got scared and repeated that he wasn't here. Still nothing. She just kept staring, her hand trying the doorknob while staring at the peephole. Finally, after what felt like forever, probably about 2 minutes, she turned around and quietly walked back down the driveway and disappeared into the dark. Both of us were so shaken, we double-checked every door and window to make sure they were locked before staying in the windowless bathroom until my parents came home. When my parents finally arrived, I told them what happened. They agreed to drive him home and have a serious talk with his mother in the morning. But when they confronted her, she was completely stunned. She said she knew he was at our house, but she never went over. According to her, she hadn't left the house at all that weekend. My parents assumed she was lying to avoid trouble, but nothing came of it, and AJ's dad even confronted her about it, but she was adamant that she never came to our house. But me, after nearly 20 years, I still believe that whatever came to my door that night wasn't AJ's mother.